Hello, welcome to the mini story for
The story.
the race.
Let's
Get
start.
started. It was 5 o'clock and Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. When was Alan riding his motorcycle?
At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle.
Well, at 5 o'clock, right? At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Was Alan riding his car? Or
No,
was Alan riding his motorcycle?
Alan was riding his motorcycle.
Of course, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Where was Alan riding his motorcycle?
In San Francisco, Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco.
In San Francisco. Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. When was he riding?
At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco.
At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. He was riding down Van Ness Street and came to a stoplight.
He came to stoplight.
Who was riding down Van Ness Street?
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street.
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street. What was he riding on?
On a motorcycle. He was riding down Van Ness Street on motorcycle.
Well, on a motorcycle. He was riding on his motorcycle. Was he riding down Market Street?
No, not Market Street. He wasn't riding down Market Street.
No, not Market Street. He wasn't riding down Market Street. Was he riding down Lombard Street?
No, he wasn't riding down Lombard Street. He was riding down Van Ness Street.
No, he wasn't riding down Lombard Street. He was riding down Van Ness Street. When? When was he riding down Van Ness Street?
At 5 o'clock, he was riding down Van Ness Street and came to a stoplight.
At 5 o'clock, he was riding down Van Ness Street. Who was riding down Van Ness Street at 5 o'clock?
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street and came to a stoplight.
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock.
Was he in a truck?
No, not in a truck. He was on a motorcycle. His motorcycle.
No, he wasn't in a truck. He was on his motorcycle.
His motorcycle.
And he came to a stoplight. Did Alan come to a go light?
No, he didn't. He didn't come to go light. He came to a stoplight.
No. He didn't come to a go light. He came to a stoplight. we never say go light. We only say stop light.
Stop light.
Who came to a stoplight?
Alan came to stoplight.
Alan, of course. Alan came to a stoplight. What was he on?
On a
when
motorcycle.
He came
He was
to a
on
stoplight.
motorcycle. When he was
A motorcycle.
on motorcycle.
He was on a motorcycle
Came to a stoplight.
when he came to a stoplight. Where was the stoplight?
On Van Ness Street. Stoplight was on Van Ness Street.
Well, on Van Ness Street. The stoplight was on Van Ness Street. Was the stoplight on Embarcadero Street? Or was the stoplight on Van Ness Street?
Was on Van Ness Street.
Van Ness, of course, Van Ness. The stoplight was on Van Ness Street. Who was at the stoplight?
Alan was to the stoplight.
Alan was at the stoplight. Which city was Alan in?
In San
In
Francisco.
San Francisco, of course. Alan was in San Francisco. Where is Van Ness?
Van Ness is on Van Ness is in San Francisco.
Well, Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Of course, Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Is Van Ness Street in New York?
No.
Or is Van Ness Street in San Francisco?
Van Ness Street is in San Francisco.
Well, of course, Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Where was Alan riding?
On a stoplight on Van Ness Street.
Oh, he was riding on Van Ness Street in San Francisco. And he came to a stoplight. A red Ferrari pulled up next to him. Did the red Ferrari pull up behind him?
No. Not behind him. A referee pulled up next to him.
No, not behind him. The red Ferrari pulled up next to him. What pulled up next to Alan?
A referee pulled up next to him.
A red Ferrari. A red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan. Did Alan pull up next to a red Ferrari?
No, didn't. Alan didn't pull up next to a referee. A referee pulled up next to him.
No. Alan didn't pull up next to a red Ferrari. A red Ferrari pulled up next to him. Where did the red Ferrari pull up next to Alan?
On Van Ness Street. A stoplight on Van Ness Street.
At a stoplight on Van Ness Street. At a stoplight on Van Ness Street, a red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan.
Next.
Was Alan in a red Ferrari? No. Alan wasn't in a red Ferrari. He was on a motorcycle. Alan was on a motorcycle. What did the red Ferrari do?
The red Ferrari pulled up next to him.
Well, it pulled up next to Alan. The red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan.